information or false.
Now, if we
Okay.
talk about political
Okay.
bias, both sides.
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
Okay. We're streaming live on YouTube. Our numbers were good, but our YouTube numbers weren't good because people don't even know. We had like a couple of watchers, but that's about it. Okay.
The creepers.
No, no one of us. Our things are creepers. All right, let's go. 5, 4.
Welcome to We Could Be Wrong, but who cares? I'm Anderson.
This is Christopher.
Sean.
Renee.
Aaron.
And Mike.
And let's go.
Nice. All right, so I will be your host again today. I think, from my understanding, we're going to talk about what was the exact subject, Chris? You termed it better than I did. I said political bias, but you said something.
The double standards. That's
Double standards in politics.
Yeah.
Okay.
In politics, absolutely,
Yeah,
double standards.
I term as political bias because both sides do it, in my opinion, and because I'm trying to stay neutral here.
There is a good thing out of this. CNN just announced that they're gonna try to stop being a mouthpiece for the Democratic Party. That was also on the
good.
news.
All parties should stop being mouthpieces for everything. We should
Did Fox,
support the news.
did Fox
CNN
News announce that they're not going to be the mouthpiece of the Republican Party?
No.
Well, actually,
No,
former President Trump actually paraded Fox during his rally in Pennsylvania because he felt like they were pushing too hard on the Democratical agenda. The Democrats' agenda, not them. Sorry, the
Being too
Democrats'
soft.
agenda.
Being too soft on the Democrats, Chris.
Yeah, and
Not
And
that they
as-
were pushing their agenda, but they were being too soft on them. They weren't being as hard hitting as they should be.
First of all, Fox News isn't backing Trump. They're going more towards DeSantis. So that's what made Trump upset because they're no longer like just his mouthpiece. They're trying to do that also. But CNN, who's supposed to be a legitimate news source, announced that they were gonna try to stop being the mouthpiece for the Democratic Party because it's obvious that that's what they are.
So let's jump into it. Do we feel there is bias? Karen, start with you because we couldn't hear you last week and I'm glad we can hear you this week. Is there political bias or how did you word it, Chris? I'm sorry again. I keep saying political bias. That's what I feel.
The double standards.
Is there double standards?
standards?
Is there double standards in the news? So Karen, what do you think? Is there double standards in the news?
In the news, absolutely. In politics, definitely, absolutely, 1,000%. I remember when we first started, or when I first started guesting on your show, on your podcast, and you could tell the difference in each of us on where we got our information or our news data based on what we leaned on, basically, as far as our, I think one of the questions was, what was your political leaning? And I felt at the time, just like the media, that we basically regurgitated what, at times, not all the time, because we basically say what's on our minds, or we have our own opinions. But yes, to answer your question shortly before I start rambling on, I do see the double standardness. I see the hypocrisy on both sides. I think that's one of the reasons why I basically stopped watching the news, because it's the same thing of everything. One news channel or a few news channels are talking crap about the other side. The other one favors the other side, and you just don't know who's telling the truth anymore.
So you think it's bilateral? That both sides do it?
Yes.
Okay, that was the big question. Let's go to Mike, and then I want to hear from Renee. So Mike, what do you think? Is there this bias, or is there this double standards?
Well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by double standard. I like what Karen said at the end. Right at the end, I agree with what she said. Both sides do it. Both sides point the finger at the other guy. Both sides have their own version of the truth. and this is what they try to get across, and that's why she doesn't like to follow the news. That, I totally agree with that part. If that's what you're talking about, Sean, I thumbs up to Karen, what she said.
Renee?
Bias, yes. Double standard, very much so. I think there's a double standard, big time right now. And the way Biden is, things are covered up, all the way down to, covering up for him as far as all the way down to the powers that be, like the FBI, trying to cover stories, legitimate stories that the American people should know about. And the stories are being covered up purposely. And let me back that up by saying that Mark Zuckerberg was on Joe Rogan, and Mark Zuckerberg said that when the story broke about the laptop and the FBI already knew that it was real and what was in it, that the FBI went to Mark Zuckerberg and said that any story having to do with the laptop should immediately be flagged on Facebook because it's Russian misinformation. We all know that's false now. And that came from Mark Zuckerberg's mouth. So, and to this day, they're covering up the laptop. They're saying that nobody knows where the laptop's at. Things are slowly being leaked about the laptop. The news stations ain't covering it. A lot of things like that. So yeah, there's a double standard because when Trump was in office, I mean, they were all over Trump. And now that Biden's in office, it almost seems like they want to protect him.
So do you think that actually changed the election, Renee? The laptop story?
Oh, depending on what's in the laptop. I mean,
I'm
according to the
just
guy,
asking you. Your personal opinion.
definitely, because according to the guy who had the laptop, that the store owner who had the laptop, then later gave it to FBI, it's a lot of crazy stuff in that laptop.
Right.
And stuff's being leaked already. The guy doing coke, he's naked with hookers. This is all in the laptop, and it's being leaked. I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff in there. Could it have changed the outcome of the election? I absolutely believe so.
Okay, Chris, what's your feeling?
Well, I mean, Renee makes a good point. Of course, every news outlet and who you listen to will influence. Well, it has a sphere of influence on you. But I think Renee makes a wonderful point. If they were as rabid about the laptop of Hunter Biden as they were with Hillary Clinton, we could have seen another easily won Trump administration due to the fact of some of the allegations that's put forth on that laptop. I mean, there are things that unfortunately are rumored. There's always leaks, and we never could trust leaks. I understand that. But at the same token, if things were transparent, how would the American people feel about their president being sort of, pulled by his son's bad decisions, and how could that go and compromise his office, having such a loose cannon in the family like that?
All right, Anderson.
Yeah.
Is it
Go ahead.
safe to say that Hunter Biden wasn't running for office? So why would that laptop make a difference?
Oh, big time. I mean, it makes a big difference because his business dealings overseas with corrupt people in Ukraine, things like that. It all leads back to the big guy.
And
This
is
is
this
conversation.
and
The
can we
big
say
guy.
the same? Can we say it's the same thing with Trump's family as well, with dealing with corruption
Can I
as
answer
well?
that?
Yeah, go
Can I
ahead.
answer that?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, unfortunately, I understand that would be a good point if there was that sort of corruption within his children. I mean, I think his children have been really the salt of the earth and pillars of good, upstanding. I'm sorry,
Okay,
moderator. Are you
so-
laughing at me?
Yes,
I
I
mean,
am, Chris,
I'm
so-
kind of
No,
Yeah, of
hold on.
course.
confused by
Yeah, but
that.
see,
Or-
that's the difference,
or
and that's where
throwing up.
that's where the double standard comes in. When Trump was
Well-
in office, they drilled on his kids. They made sure they knew everything that they were dealing with, who they were dealing with, all that.
Have there
With
been
Hunter
questions
Biden,
that,
there's yet to see that. We've yet to see that.
okay, hold on. So the question is, have there been questions about Trump's children's dealings with China? That's my question to the panel.
Well, first of
Have there
all,
been
Yeah,
questions
and
about that?
they've been addressed.
exactly. And
They've
but
been
I
been
think
addressed
Renee,
by
all
who?
through the Trump presidency.
So
All the
Trump
media was all
presidency
over it.
addressed-
CNN was all over. Everybody was over all their dealings with everybody.
So
again,
Anderson, what's your
let's-
feelings on that?
well, hold
Anderson?
on, wait. I mean, hold on.
No, kid,
I
finish,
think-
finish up. Yeah.
Okay.
No, finish up. No, Chris. I know you
okay.
was gonna say
Go ahead.
something.
I think what the big point is that even within the show, we're showing double standards. The fact that the moderator of the show even laughs at the fact that, yes, were there questions about his children, but as you saw, there's been no, arrest of any of Trump's children that we know of.
No
You know what I mean?
smoking guns.
And
Or
there's
Biden's.
still what I thought there was an arrest. I mean, there is, if we could check the records, but
Was
I
there
don't
an
want
arrest
to
of
put it down
Biden's children?
for Hunter. Wasn't he picked up and put in
Well,
rehab?
drugs, but that was a long time ago, right? We're not talking about
Oh,
what we're
and
talking about now.
by the way, there's a diary that his daughter. He also has a daughter. Biden has a daughter. Have you guys heard about the diary?
Actually, I remember when that news did break about the diary.
Okay, well, there's a diary,
Yeah.
and they covered that up also. But unfortunately, somehow the Biden administration screwed up, and now that because of something they did legally, that journal or that diary may come out, and that diary is even worse than Hunter's laptop because it pretty much accuses her father of some pretty gross shit. So there's a lot of stuff that the media just doesn't want to touch, and I think
And
that's
there's a
double
lot of
standard.
stuff that this show here makes fun of the people that that have conservative leanings. But maybe we should finish hearing what Anderson has to say. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna bring out that Ivanka Trump was involved in a very high Panamanian real estate development scheme, where her key partner was a money launderer as well for
Okay, and
various
where's-
organized crimes. I
Okay,
mean, you
and
guys.
what happened with that?
I mean, yeah, what happened? Don't you tell me? I
Obviously,
don't know.
obviously, you know about it, right?
Obviously, it was buried as every other high-ranking politicians are because we're talking about political bias today. And my
Yeah.
personal opinion, staying neutral, is that both parties are political bias and protect themselves.
So I'm just bringing up examples, just like you're bringing up
No,
examples
but-
as well.
but that's-
So it
that's
goes
my
both
point,
ways
though.
in terms of the bias.
No, that's my point, though. My point is
Uh-huh.
that when Trump was in office, everything that you just brought up, all that stuff was coming about our kids. It was
Yeah, of
all
course.
over the media. It was CNN talked about it, about all the kids being involved here, kids being involved there, but no one talks about Biden's story. Nobody.
Well, apparently they are because you're bringing it up.
No, I'm hearing it from sources other than the news. Like
Yeah, and here's
Joe
my other
Rogan
question
show,
to the panel. Let me ask this.
other
'cause
shows
you guys
where
are saying-
people are
Hold on.
coming out and
Well-
saying like, "Hey, these stories are real. This is real. Why isn't the media covering this stuff?"
So you guys are saying that you guys don't watch, the news. So where are you
No,
you
wait a
getting your
minute.
sources from?
Are you
Well,
asking
one of my
me
sources
a
was,
direct
Joe
question,
Rogan,
Anderson, that I'm not watching the
TBD
news?
podcast.
No, Renee.
No, I say some of the panel said they don't watch, CNN
No,
or Fox.
podcast,
So I want to know where they're getting their news from.
podcast. I'm
I
getting
watch
my news
tons
from
of news
podcasts.
sources.
The guy who had the laptop was on. I think he was on Joe Rogan or another show I listened to, either PBD podcast.
PDD.
He was on
PD,
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on there, and he said, he was threatened by the FBI, a bunch of stuff.
But isn't those podcasts biased as well?
They're
No,
just
it's the guy
opinions.
who's
They're
actually
opinions.
telling-
Yeah.
They're
This
just
is the
opinions.
guy. No,
They're
this
no
is
more
the
different than our opinions.
Hold on. We're talking about the guy who had the laptop. The guy
The owner, store owner.
that owned the store, who knows what's on the context of that podcast, who gave it to the FBI. The FBI threatened him. He's coming out and saying this stuff. How is that bias? He's a
So
victim.
Well, I guess
he's experiencing it.
Hold on, Renee. My question is, and this is to the panel again: are individuals biased, or are individuals always honest?
Of course.
No,
I think they
they're
are.
biased.
So his whole
individuals are
thing,
biased,
one
yeah.
of the main questions that he was asked is, have any news organizations asked to interview you, have come to you for information about the laptop? No,
And he said no.
he said no.
Well, he was on Fox.
does-
He
but
was
does
on
that-
Fox.
Yeah, well,
but
okay,
does-
but I'm talking about like
Yeah.
mainstream media. Nobody. He's
But does
even
that
reached out
mean he
trying
is
to
not
re-
leaning left or right?
Okay, Renee, I want to go back to
Dude,
something
oh
real
my
quick.
God.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm just
Okay,
asking. I'm just
okay.
asking, Ray. As a
I don't know.
moderator,
I
do you
don't know
think
your
that
question.
individual could be
he's just
leaning
being
left or
truthful.
right, one way or another? I'm not saying he is or isn't. I'm just asking the question.
Well,
Could
there's only
this
one thing
person
that
be
can
left
happen.
leaning or right leaning?
What was in that laptop
No, it's not what I'm asking.
could incriminalize things, right? All he could say is the truth. There's things
Well,
on
is he-
here that could
Is he telling
criminalize.
the truth?
We're,
Well, according to what's being leaked little by little, yeah. Now we know that it wasn't Russian misinformation. We know the laptop exists. We know that there was a lot of crazy stuff on the laptop. We know it's true. I mean,
Well, we don't
okay.
know it's true. We know it's been leaked. We don't know anything's true yet.
well, we see
That's like
pictures.
saying
We
Chris
see
said
pictures.
something.
We
We know
see
what
videos.
Chris said is true.
Hold on. Allegedly, on the
Keyword.
laptop, he was doing drugs,
With
hiring
Biden?
others.
No,
Um,
Hunter.
he was
Oh,
nude on
no,
the
because it
laptop.
makes it seem like
Hold on.
Biden
Yeah.
was doing everything as well.
yeah.
No. Well, there is a picture that leaked of Biden naked with a young girl. So I don't know.
Uh, Well, yeah, of course, and that's not true. You know that. But
How
there
do
is a
you
leak
know?
of there's a leak of Trump
How do you
saying
know
grab
that
him by the
It
pussy, but you
looks
still
just-
voted for
It
him,
looks just like him.
Exactly. He was still elected as
Laptop.
president.
and he's still elected for president. And
Hold
you
on,
have
Okay.
daughters.
Hold
All right,
on.
guys.
That's
Okay,
ridiculous.
There's
28
that
women.
picture.
28
See how-
women have made claims
Guys.
against Trump, sexual assault.
Hold
28
on,
women.
guys. Look how you guys are acting. I'm just telling you something that's
Well,
factual.
we're throwing facts to you as well.
I don't
and you
care
don't like it.
about
Okay.
Trump. I don't care about Trump. I'm talking about the
Okay.
Oh,
president today.
But we're talking
The
about
president
bias,
today.
Renee. So
There
we're
he
going
is.
tit for tat.
There he
The
is.
hell? All right, guys. No. Let's start talking about the double standard time.
Okay,
Let's look at
well,
that.
just let me go back a minute, okay? I haven't said much. Just Renee,
Isn't that the biggest double standard though? When they were all after Trump about the grab the pussy thing, but say nothing about Joe Biden with this young girl.
What
okay.
young
That's a
girl?
double
What are you
standard,
talking
right?
about? What are you talking about, young girl?
It's a picture. It's a pic. Hold on, Renee. I
That
just
came
want to
from
go back.
Hunter's bathtub.
The hell?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Renee, I want to go back to what you said about just to go back to the initial part of the laptop being discovered. Okay, and the
Mhm.
FBI went to Zuckerberg and said, "We do not want you to put this information on the internet."
No,
Okay,
anything that comes out on it on Facebook should immediately be taken down
correct.
because it's
Okay,
Russian misinformation, knowing that it wasn't. The FBI lied.
Renee, in the very
on.
beginning, when this story broke, it broke before the election. Okay,
Mhm.
when it came out, that to me is suspicious timing. Oh, guess what? They found this Hunter Biden's laptop. It's very suspicious. I'm not saying it's at that point. I'm just going back to give you my thought process. Okay,
No,
very
okay.
suspicious. Okay,
Mhm.
what made it ridiculously suspicious to me? Who was the laptop turned over to? Who was the laptop given to?
The FBI.
No,
No.
no, it wasn't given to the FBI.
Who was it given to then?
Rudy Giuliani.
Okay.
Now, and Rudy Giuliani, we now know, has been saying 85 million times that the election was stolen. This is bad. This happened. This happened. This happened. This happened. Rudy Giuliani has turned himself into a joke. So in the beginning, that's what the story was. And then at that time, because of hold on, I'm not saying anything about the laptop, Renee.
You're
I'm
you're
giving
trying
you
to
a
say that
timeline.
it's fake.
No, I'm not. I'm giving you, I'm trying to say to you, don't be so certain about everything. Because at that particular time, they didn't know. They then took the time and legitimized, yes, there actually is a laptop, okay? And there's information on that laptop, which has yet to be determined accurately what's gonna happen. And one other thing real quick about the laptop. Last week, you were very, very, very clear to me specifically, because I kept pushing back and saying, hey man, we don't know what's in those documents. We don't know what's in those documents. We don't know what's in those documents.
We know what's in the
Oh,
laptop.
but we know what's in the laptop. That you
The
made my
guy,
point.
the guy,
You
the
made
his
guy
point.
who had,
Thank
hold
you.
on.
Thank you,
The
Renee.
guy,
Thank you.
Gotcha.
the guy, I heard it firsthand from the guy who had the laptop.
And
You heard it
he's a
firsthand.
store owner.
Anyway,
He's a-
okay, guys, hold on. Let's
Oh
look at,
my
okay,
God.
let's
You guys are
actually start-
totally being double standard right now.
no. Let's talk about double
You're not.
standards. What is the double standard? Let's go around. I want everyone to give me an example of what is the double standard that we're talking about. Karen,
That's
what do
I
you feel
needed.
there's a double standard of in politics nowadays?
Today? Yeah.
Well, I'll just point out the two issues
Or
that
you
everyone.
can say you don't think there's a double standard. It's up to you. You just tell me what you think is a double standard or not a double standard.
I think there is, and like I was trying to say, I'll
Yep.
point out the two issues that we've been talking about so far, and it's getting heated because of everyone's individual biases, implicit biases, right? The Trump and like when he was running for president, everybody on his side, on his camp, supported him. Every reporter, every, I don't know, fake or real news that came out about him, his wrongdoings, his unethical actions or whatever, his camp ignored, and they spun it to make it basically, I guess, acceptable or whatever, right? And then with Biden, I mean, I see the double standardness as well as it relates to what Renee is trying to point out with the laptop. We did hear it before Biden got elected as president, and likewise his camp and the people, the powers that be, also spun it in a way so that it went away, so that he could be elected. I don't know, but I think a lot of the times we tend to dismiss misbehaviors from our people, like the people that we support, and we become complacent, and it shouldn't be like
Mhm.
that, because we're perpetuating their wrongdoings, and we're okay with
She's
one
talking
thing, but then yet when
directly.
it comes,
She's talking
well, let
directly
me
to Mike
finish,
right
Renee.
now.
I mean, we're okay with certain people that we support to do things, but yet when it comes to the other person that we oppose and we hate or don't like, we're ready to go for the throat, and I don't think
No.
that's right either.
Okay.
Can I go next?
No, I agree. So Renee, Mike, I'll let you guys be last because you guys are the most talkative. Anderson, what do you think? Is there a double standard now? And if so, give me an example of what you
There's
feel.
There's always a double standard. I mean, like Renee brought up the laptops for either Biden or Hillary. We're nagging and we're still talking about Hillary Clinton's laptop, guys. And I'm so done with it. I mean, how long has it been? And you saw it in his speech yesterday. All he did, he was supposed to campaign for everybody. Instead, he was talking about how he didn't lose, and he was just being biased, of course. And that's my time. Thank you.
All right, Chris, what do you think?
Well, listen, the
Uh-oh.
double standard is us, the people, right? This is what Karen and I guess Anderson was trying to say somehow, but it's us, the people. But you have to understand, I guess, from a conservative point of view, why we feel that way. It's hard to be a minority with morals and values, and we're trying to establish a way because we see our country going in a way where the poor get poorer, but yet with all these progressive ideas that are causing this gap to grow bigger, it's difficult for us. Yeah, when there's one person and one idealism in a group now, because it's no longer, because before they used to say, what are you going to do when Trump's gone? Well, there's DeSantis, there's a lot of people that's coming up behind them. When you see nothing but the mainstream media completely find anything they could to demolish these people, but turn away on some of these extreme left, representatives like a AOC and stuff, of course, we're going to be screaming the loudest about double standards. But I do understand, and I'll make the consent that the double standards is with the people.
Okay, so before,
are making.
sorry, go ahead. So before I get Renee and Mike, the point I would like to bring up, is there a double standard with Trump supporters yelling, lock her up with Hillary, and Biden supporters not yelling, lock him up with Trump? Something to think about in the back of people's minds.
Well, I could answer
I
that
mean,
now.
I think there are double standards. I'm a neutral. I'm saying there are double standards with both parties, but that's just something to think about. So, Renee, do you want to go first or after Mike? You tell me.
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead, Renee.
Okay. For some reason, you guys are acting like when President Trump announced he was running for office, nobody knew who Trump was. That Trump presented himself as this innocent guy who was a everyday politician, who was like this perfect guy, right? We all knew who Trump was. Dude. Trump was a businessman who had been sued a bunch of times, who was a womanizer, who was always at the Playboy Mansion, who was always dealing with, people that probably someone that's a mainstream politician shouldn't be dealing with. And guess what? He was elected because of that, because people were tired of these fake ass politicians acting like they're so innocent and so straight. And unfortunately, that's where Biden comes into trouble, because he is one of those mainstream politicians who acts like he's a perfect guy. And Trump isn't that guy. So when you guys throw this, oh, grab the pussy, this and that, dude, we all knew Trump was like that. And people didn't care because we knew he wasn't like that. He was.
Well, Renee, quick question for you on that subject. Just quick question. Wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jesse Ventura elected the same way? And did they get a second term? I understand exactly what you're saying. I totally agree with you. But
Yes.
Wasn't Arnold elected governor of California one time because of the same thing? And Jesse Ventura in another state because of the same thing?
And that's why people that are conservative are pissed off, because
But did they get a second term?
Hold on. A lot of people believe that Trump could have won if Biden's if a lot of stuff would have been let out and wasn't covered up on the Biden side. I mean, the daughter's journal, the son's laptop, things that could have changed the election. There's people, like you said, Giuliani's a laughing fool, all this stuff. He probably really believes that the election was stolen because of that, because of the stuff that was covered up, because of the stuff that the FBI didn't let come out to get Joe Biden elected. So, I mean, you could say that he's a laughing stock and this and that. He thinks the election was stolen. A lot of people believe that, because now we know for a fact that the FBI was covering up stories so that Joe Biden could
How's
win.
that true?
Yes,
So wait,
true,
my
dude.
question for you,
That's true.
and this again, I'm being neutral. My question for you, in 2016, when James Comey announced another investigation on Hillary Clinton 2 weeks before the election, did that? I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
I'll read
So
Remember when
Comey,
Kaepernick was an asshole?
no, hold on. So when James Comey announced an investigation on Hillary Clinton, 2 to 4 weeks before the election,
8
Yeah.
days.
did that have anything to do with it?
And guess what happened?
days.
They didn't follow up. Why?
And Hillary lost.
Why?
Sure they did.
Because it was unprecedented. No, I just saw that what Comey announced. Like when that happened, Comey said that they weren't going to bring charges on her because it was unprecedented and that they could never.
He said that's
There was
after he
something
said
like
they,
that. Yes,
No.
I wish someone
No.
could look it up.
no.
Yes.
He said they were
Yes.
announcing an
Then
investigation
they
on
said
her.
that's funny.
I'm just telling
That's funny.
facts.
That's funny how he says that. They're saying that when Clinton happened, but it's like a double standard with Trump. They did a search warrant. I mean, they raided his house, all that stuff. But with Hillary,
Well-
I just saw it the other day. I wish I would have.
We
Okay,
talked about this
on-
last week. Was it unprecedented? We don't know. Was it unprecedented for a president to take records home from the White House against the Presidential Records Act? Yes, it is. We're not going to re-debate that. That was a subject we talked about last week, and I agree with you.
Hold on, Chris.
It's
I don't think this guy's being a moderator, dude.
no. I'm just
Well,
asking.
No. Then don't
Wait a
ask
minute.
questions because
Let me-
everything you're
hold
saying.
on, wait
you're
a
saying,
minute.
I'm being
What do you mean I
biased.
can't
I'm
ask
just
questions?
saying.
Hold
I'm
on, wait
being
a
neutral,
minute.
but then
Guys.
boom, you throw something
Okay,
totally.
let me
leftist on
give
us.
I'll
He's throwing
address
facts
that.
at you, Renee.
I'm just waiting for after Mike to respond, and
Yes.
I'll address that.
So
I'll
let's
address
let
that.
let's
I'll
let Mike
address
respond then.
that. Yeah.
Well, what the original question about being about being
Double standards. Stop, Chris. Stop.
What's wrong with you?
Somebody's tickling your booty.
Yeah, it's you.
Where are your hands?
Are you high,
Thank you.
Chris?
he's having a hard time keeping his personality in check.
All right,
Um,
Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess the original question was about the double standard, and I want to, yeah. I think what we're going to see in American politics is the party in charge is going to get grilled, and the party in charge is going to get everything thrown at them. Just like I think we really saw it with the Bushes a little bit, more so with Clinton, way more so with Obama, way more so with Trump, and I think way more so with Biden. They're all just getting it from all sides, and that's just going to be part of the way it's going to go down.
Wait,
in
how is
politics
Trump
today.
getting it? How is Biden getting it? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, by virtue of the fact that by opinion, looking at a picture, a fuzzy picture, I swear that came off the laptop. I swear that came off the laptop. I got two more pictures that I
Here we
found,
go.
Renee. Yeah, here we go. I got two more
Here we
pictures that I
go.
found. Yeah. Oh, you're not laughing, are you?
What picture?
Yeah. See,
I
that
don't
was
see
the
nothing.
thing. Okay. Well, I have two more pictures of, there's, that must be true, right? So on the
Oh,
internet,
come on, dude. We all know
It
that
is.
one's not true.
Oh, so
What?
all of a sudden
Why?
being biased.
why?
No,
Topic
come
of the
on,
show.
dude. We're talking about
What do you
something
mean?
that came off of Hunter's laptop compared to something that was photoshopped. on
You
the
don't
internet.
know. You don't know it came off of his laptop. Somebody told you it came off of his laptop. That's all you know, Renee. That's all I know. That's all you
Right.
know. Okay, the picture, just real quick, the picture that you sent, I looked it up.
Mhm.
Okay, the only one I could find it off it was a website called Eternal Affairs Media and Ministries.
Mhm.
Okay, it showed it also had a feature of visualize a big jetliner going over and all the stream coming off of the back of it. And the article was about, this is aerosol vaccine being developed that can spray human cities.
I'm not surprised that you can't find it nowhere now because we all know the FBI is covering all this stuff up.
No,
So
what?
I'm
Find
sure
what?
that they
Well,
took
No, I found it.
pictures.
I
Being
found it.
biased.
Okay,
biased.
hold on. Let me finish, Renee. Let me finish.
It's
Okay,
a fact. They are.
No,
We all
he's
know
being
that now.
biased,
Okay.
Renee.
Renee,
Go
and,
ahead,
and
go
that
ahead, Mike.
and according to that picture, it said Bill Gates is the one behind creating this aerosol vaccine that they're going to spray over American cities. The other article that was on there was it's a picture of Trump, and he's standing there and he's got about 7 men surrounding him, and they all have their hands on him. And the headline says, "Trump the King is coming back. Prophecy quotes to scripture."
Hopefully.
Now, do those sound silly to you? I imagine they probably
No,
do.
I hope
They
he does
sound
come
real?
back. I hope
With
he does come back. I hope someone prophesies it.
Well,
so the God.
my question
So,
is,
so my
go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
okay. So Renee,
Okay, so now
Why
you're
is
saying
it-
all the
what-
pictures of Hunter snorting coke
Hold on,
and with
hold on,
naked
hold
with the
on.
hook videos are fake too, right?
I don't know, but I think it's dangerous to assume that they're all 100% correct because
Correct.
I can come up with just as many ugly things on the internet and pictures of Trump as you can of Biden. And I'm no more going to want to believe those than you should believe that any picture you see makes Biden absolutely guilty. It's a very
No,
dangerous
no.
thinking. That's where I'm coming
I just
from.
said it's a picture. It should be
All right.
investigated.
So
That's
just
all
the
I'm
point of
saying.
fact, just the point of fact.
I'm not saying it is him or not. I'm just saying it should
So-
be investigated.
So just the point of fact, Trump appointed the head of the FBI. Just a point of fact. I'm not
Okay.
judging either way or the other. But I'm
And
just
yeah,
saying,
but who's in
Trump
power now?
appointed the
Who's
head
in
of the
power of him?
FBI.
Who's in power of
Huh?
him now?
What's that?
Who's in power? Who has the power over him now?
Nobody. He's the head of the FBI.
come
No one has
on,
power of him.
please, dude, please.
So
Okay,
he's
Sean,
the head of the FBI that Trump appointed. So, and second of all, so I want to bring up this point about political bias, or give and take. So do we feel, and I'm only using this example because it's a very blunt example. I'm not downing Republicans at all. I don't care.
You're
Do we
neutral,
think
right?
that, for example, like Lindsey Graham, who said, we're not going to put somebody in office within the year of a president being out of office, and then rushing somebody in the last month of Trump, do we find that being a problem as far as uneasiness, or do we agree
What are you
with that,
talking
or
about?
do we say, huh?
I don't know what you're
The
talking about.
Supreme Court. The Supreme
I
Court.
thought,
The
yeah,
last year of
the
Obama,
justices.
they tried to appoint somebody, Merrick Garland, actually, the last year. And Lindsey Graham said, it's the last year of Obama's administration. We're not going to put somebody in. It's not fair. And then when it was the last month of Trump's presidency, they put in Amy Barron Cohen. He said, no, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It doesn't matter who's coming in.
Was
Do
it
we
Lindsey
find that
Graham
as-
or
as-
is it
No,
McConnell?
that was Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham actually said, mark my words, you can use it against me. If we put somebody in the last year of a presidency, you know, it's
I
not
don't
going to
even
work.
think Lindsey Graham is
He is,
majority whip or.
He's on the committee. Look it up, Chris. It was there. He actually said,
But
the
wouldn't that
last
be
year-
run through the Senate with
well, no, there's
McConnell? I
actually a
mean,
committee
there's a
first
lot of
that does it.
congressmen that's, you know.
No, there's a
It
committee
was
that
just
does it first.
justifying, it was
Right.
just a comment justifying the behavior that they were doing is
Oh,
what,
okay.
I think that's where it's coming from. Well, Chris, you were gonna say something. Go ahead and say it
Yeah,
about.
well, look, so I wanted to address Renee's accusation to Sean. I understand where Renee's coming from, and the fact that when you say, hey, what about in the Trump rallies of lock her up and whatnot? I mean, that runs parallel to the same way of Black Lives Matter, some looting and burning of cities. When people feel oppressed, they lash out, right? That's the same grace you want us to share. Well, at those Trump rallies, these people feel oppressed. And this leads to the next segment of the show with all this rhetoric about violence and politicians now mentioning violence. But I think this is a great segue. Like, you can't be neutral and then throw a dig at us talking about what about when they say lock her up. All we know is that, as conservatives, we're being prosecuted. Like, we're being force fed these lifestyles that we don't agree with, it be religiously or financially, and yet you want us just to sit there and take it. So
Well, don't break the law. Don't break the law. Just like Black Lives Matter, they should be prosecuted for looting, just like January
I'm showing
6th.
grace. I'm
Don't
not saying that
don't
they
break the
should be
law.
I'm not saying we should, I'm not attacking Black Lives Matter. I'm just saying the same grace you wanted for some of those individuals that did loot and whatnot. I'm just saying for at the rallies, show us the same grace. Don't try to throw it back in our face that, we're being unpatriotic or being dictators, because we're not. We have made a choice to stand at a line and hold that line where we're feeling overrun by mainstream media. We're feeling overrun by friends and people in our circle. I mean, even in this poor little panel, we feel overrun, and like we are looking for look, see
Also,
what
now
I mean?
now
see
we're
it?
getting
I
hurt
mean-
feelings now, right? So now
Now
we're
they
getting
make
hurt
you
feelings.
funny.
Because remember when we were saying we're about the
Mhm.
cops?
Yeah.
Oh, don't hurt your feelings. I mean, it's the same thing. All of a sudden, we're
I'm
hurting your
asking
feelings.
for
We all
grace.
know that
I'm
funny
asking
how-
for grace.
Oh,
Hey,
that
you
was
know
called
what's
grace.
funny?
Okay.
You
Go
know
ahead.
what's funny? How remember the whole defund the police movement on the
Yeah.
Democratic side?
Yeah.
Now all of a
Wait,
sudden,
wait.
we
Democratic
never
side?
said that. We never
Defund the
said
police
that.
was Democratic?
Yes. Really?
Liberal. Yeah,
liberal,
after- yeah,
liberal, yeah, liberal.
Yeah.
Well, the same
That's
thing.
what, yeah.
Yeah. So remember the whole
No.
thing. Now Biden's saying we've never said that. We've always
They-
been fund
he
the
didn't-
police.
He didn't say that.
Well,
He didn't say that.
Bring
Renee.
this
He said
into
party
the
in
political
general,
violence.
nobody.
He didn't
Can
say
we
that.
segue that in, please?
Sure.
He's talking
Say-
about
say-
the Democratic Party in general never had that agenda.
No,
They
And
did.
they
one-
did.
so
Some
we're
did,
talking-
some did, some did.
A
Renee, some
lot
did.
did. A
the
lot
progressive-
did. A
Renee, the
lot
progressive,
did.
the progressive side did, yes. But the
All the
progressive
way
side's not,
down to the
Renee, then it
moderate
didn't happen,
side.
but it didn't happen. It didn't
Of
happen.
course not. And now they're running with the story that they're the ones that are pro-police and want to fund the police.
That's always the case, Renee. That's always the
God,
case.
now. They were
It
talking about
is.
funneling money
Renee,
from the
Biden
police.
was
a
criticized
program.
because
We even did a
Biden was
show on this.
criticized
We
in his
even did a
election.
show on this. You remember we talked about how there should be other ways of like
Okay.
putting it into like
So
counselor.
the question is right now, hold on. Did
Sean, I
Biden
want to ask a
ever
question
say
real quick.
D?
Sean, I
Okay,
want to
hold
ask
on,
a
guys.
question.
Hold on.
Chris,
Did Biden?
did
Bye, calm
Biden get
down.
criticized? Chris, did Biden get criticized for being law and order, to law and order back in the 90s when he was running for election this last term?
Yeah, they
Yes.
had a quote of him saying about urban areas being like jungles and
Yeah.
calling
Okay.
Yeah,
urban
yeah,
people.
Yeah,
So-
that,
he
and
got
wanting to
criticized
put
for that.
coke
Yes,
users
he
in
did.
prison for life.
So the
Remember he wanted to
question
put
is,
coke
the
users?
question is, hold
And
on,
turns
hold
out
on,
his
hold on,
son's
hold
a
on,
coke
hold on.
user.
The question is, did Biden ever say defund the police? That is my question to the panel.
No, but
Does
he
anyone
backed-
ever
he
say
backed-
Biden said defund the police?
He backed people that were screaming that.
Not what I asked. Did
That-
Biden ever say
that's what
defund the
matters.
police?
He said
That's
no.
what
He said
matters.
no.
The people he
said
backed.
no.
he
Okay,
backed.
no.
never backed anybody.
Anderson, did he ever say defund the police that you know of?
No, he didn't.
Renee,
And
did
he,
he say
and he
I
defund
never,
the
know.
he
police?
never backed
I-
anybody.
What do you mean?
Did he say
whenever
So
you-
defund
Biden
the
said, I
police?
back. So Biden said, I backed this individual for defunding the police. That's what you're saying.
No, but hold on.
That's
Let
what you're
me
saying.
find
You're
something.
wrong, Renee. I'm sorry, Renee. It's not
The
accurate. The
thing is
progressive
that
wing.
It's okay to
he's
be
the
wrong, Renee.
he's the political leader of the party.
Doesn't
that has
matter.
a fringe group. No,
So-
but that's how
everything
people
that
are
happened under
interpreting.
Trump rule is
interpreting it.
Trump. You can't say that. We're talking about neutrality here. If you
You're the
can't,
moderator.
say
You're the
everything that
moderator.
happened under the party with Trump is Trump's fault, everything that happened under the party with Biden's fault is Biden's fault.
Hold on,
Because certain
guys.
Democrats
Hold on, I
say
just
defund
looked
the
it up.
police does
Hold
not mean
on.
that.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Renee.
New York Post, AMAC, a lot of different news outlets. It says, roll the tape. Biden supported defunding the police. Specifically in a video interview earlier this month, Biden not only affirmed his support for the defund the police, as his own proponents have defined it.
Well, you'd have to
Oh.
show us the video
Yeah, I need the
Oh, we
source.
lost
I need a
because
source.
I have not seen
I need-
that, and I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying I have not seen that or heard that from that party.
Yeah, I need a source. The progressive
Well,
wing of the Democratic Party. Biden got in trouble from the
Well,
progressive wing
yeah,
of
he's
his own
off right now.
party for not being more in line with support
Well,
concepts.
let's
He
see
got
what
in
Karen has
trouble
to say.
with it.
Karen, what's your feelings, Karen?
I feel like it's too hot to continue on. Just kidding.
It is hot. It is.
If
Well,
you
no,
had
I wanted
electricity.
to. I have no opinion on the defunding the police. I disagree with it, and I don't remember what Biden said about that, if he was in support or not in support. I kind of wanted to respond to Chris, what he said about oppression, the Black Lives Matter fighting oppression, and he, in the same sentence, he said that the Trump supporters.
Oh, guys,
Hold
did
on,
you
Ren.
guys hear?
Hold up.
Hold
Let
on,
her finish
hold
the
on.
point. Let her finish the point.
Go
Hold
ahead,
on.
Karen.
the
Go ahead,
Trump
Karen.
supporters who rioted on January 6th were also quote unquote oppressed people. So I don't feel that you can compare what they were fighting for, because the people who went there, they're not oppressed. Black Lives Matter, when they started out, from my understanding, being a non-Black, was they're fighting for oppression, for their rights to be seen, to basically make people aware of the injustices that their people are still suffering through to this day. You can't say that the people who rioted in January on the, those rioters were fighting against oppression against them. That they were fighting because they believe the mainstream media and what was being said about the election being stolen. They wanted to overturn and instill fear and intimidation on the people who were in charge of certifying the election. So that's my response to Chris. I don't think they're not equal. There was no oppression
Well,
on
Hey,
the
guys,
right.
did you,
First,
guys hear the-
first I want.
Hold on,
Can I
let-
drop
let-
it for that
let-
story?
let Chris respond. Let Chris respond to his
Yeah.
comments.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for your response. Unfortunately, I found some faults in what you're saying. Black Lives Matter don't just represent the blacks; they represent all people of color. So that was one, fault. But it's a fact. It needs to be known. Secondarily, for the people in January 6th, I don't understand how you could say all of them were not repressed, because they felt repressed. They felt like their country was taken away from them. I will concede to the fact that, yes, they were dictated by political leaders that had, poorly instructed them. But, I think you're wrong in saying that they didn't feel oppressed. They felt absolutely oppressed. That's why some of them felt that they would rather die and keep what they believe, their America is, than fall under, and some of them felt the role of the devil. I'm not saying that's true or not. I'm just saying what some of them felt. But also, I think the final thing I felt like you're false is I think it is equal, because in what I was saying is the same way that some of us that felt Black lives were matters and what happened with them were wrong, and doesn't necessarily, I'm not saying that we know for a fact they're wrong, but some of the people that said they were wrong, the same way you ask those people to show grace and try to understand is the same way I'm asking you to show grace and try to understand a conservative perspective of it. And that's what I meant by that. I do appreciate your response. I just feel like you need to take a step back and really know these 3 points where I felt like you needed to better yourself and
Wait a
responding
minute.
with
Wait,
that.
wait,
Ah,
wait a
Lord.
minute.
Hold
Wait a
on.
minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. So, Chris, you're telling me that was a peaceful protest January 6th?
No, I didn't say that. The
Because
same
you're making
way,
it seem like
the
all those
same
guys
way.
were oppressed. First of all, they were oppressed by a lie that was being told, that the election was lost. So don't give me that
Well,
bullshit that
well, hold on,
they were
hold
oppressed as
on.
well.
See,
Because
you're
you're full of
so,
it.
you're
Go ahead.
so,
Attack
you're,
me.
I'm not attacking you. See,
No,
that's
no,
what
go
you're
ahead,
wrong.
because I'm waiting
And
for it.
that's
Go.
why I find this to be very interesting, because I'm not attacking you. Matter of fact, you're so anxious to get me that you're missing. And this
Go
is
ahead.
this is what I want
Just
this
answer
next
the question,
segment to be
Chris.
about. Well, I am, if you allow me to, but I mean, obviously, you guys just want me to
Chris,
be
go
in this
ahead.
corner.
Ah,
So
Reclaiming my
gosh.
time.
the thing,
Reclaiming my
what
time.
I'm trying to say is, I don't know all those people. All I know is some of those people, and I absolutely knew some of those people personally. And what I'm saying is, some of them did feel oppressed. I never said it was a peaceful protest. I never said that. I said for grace, to give these people the same grace as you
No.
ask other
No, I'm not giving
people
them
to
grace.
give
I'm not giving them
grace.
grace. Come on.
And that's
Give me a
fine.
break.
I'm not going to force you to, right? I mean, that, all I'm saying is, you want us to be so open-minded, but it seems like to me, you're refusing to even give a step towards us. And this
right.
is
Why would I? Why would I? You guys attack the Capitol, attack law
the
enforcement, and I want to
idea
give
to
you
have
grace?
Biden in office was to unify this country. And it seems like to me that Biden can't do this when there's people like you feeling
According
that
to
right
your
there.
party, according
Okay.
to the right, according to the right. Let's be safe. Let's say that,
Okay.
because that's
I'm
what you think.
here trying to unify with you. You're telling you just want to throw me away.
No,
I don't know
'cause
why.
I'm
I'm here with
calling you
open
on your
arms.
bullshit. That's why. I mean,
See,
can I do
the
that?
fact
Yeah.
that the fact I never said nothing you guys said were bullshit. I said you guys are misinformed, and that's okay. I would be misinformed just like you guys if I sat down and watched MSNBC and CNN all day.
Yeah, which we don't. I know I don't.
You-
I
Hey,
don't.
did you
All
guys?
right. Hold on.
I don't.
Wait.
I don't
don't
watch
watch those
mainstream.
either.
I don't watch
Hey, wait,
mainstream media, Chris.
Quick. Karen, do you have a reply? Because Chris directly responded to you. So, Karen, do you have a reply, or are you okay with what he said, or are you done and we can go to somebody else?
No, I respect his opinion, just like you respected my opinion. And
Absolutely. Your opinion was very good. Very, I understand. I appreciate it.
that's how I felt. I said what I said, and we can disagree to disagree politely because this is exactly what's dividing our nation. It's the well, no,
Absolutely.
your camp did this and blah 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 and this and that.
Karen,
And well, no,
Okay,
you're
Karen,
wrong.
all right, that's-
Karen, it's okay for
Renee,
you to
Renee,
say,
one
Chris,
second.
you're wrong,
You're gonna be
and
there
I'm right.
soon, I promise.
Yeah,
Mike,
and if
Mike,
we
give me an
all say
opinion.
the words, if we say the words, you know what, you just show me grace, because really I just want unity here. That's and if, oh man, if you don't agree with that, then come on, then I can't be legitimate. I'm sorry, Chris, but you're not really come up, you went after Karen with 3 different areas that didn't make any sense at all. And
Wait
right
a minute. She
right
said Black
on,
Lives
Anderson.
Matter
No,
was just
Right
about
on, Anderson.
black.
Let Mike finish.
And
Let
they're
Mike
not.
finish. Let Mike
Anderson,
finish.
right on, was right on. He just flat out said to you, that's bullshit. I ain't buying it. And I'm with Anderson. Sorry, Chris, to be so strong, but all you're coming across is kumbaya and it ain't working.
Okay, Renee, go. You've been waiting. You've been patient. Thank you.
All right, did you guys hear the articles I read before I cut out?
Yeah,
Right.
we did. We didn't hear
No.
the date of the article though.
It was June 24th, 2020. And it was in a video earlier that month. And then there's other articles where Joe Biden's own party or his people said, oh, well, Joe misspoke. So there's plenty of videos out there where he's saying he was for the movement, defund the police. But
Okay, can
now
I,
he's not. Now he's not, supposedly.
okay, it was a video, right? It was a video?
Yeah,
was a
it's him
video?
being interviewed. Yeah.
Okay, Chris, can you show that video about Trump that I sent you today?
Yeah.
Since
Oh my
videos
God.
are-
See, this is what it turns into, dude. We're talking about one thing and they want to throw Trump, and Trump has nothing to do with this. We're
Renee.
talking about Joe Biden.
Renee,
He's the
No, we're not.
president.
We're talking about
What-
everybody.
Trump is not
Renee.
president no more.
Renee,
We're talking,
you are,
dude, stop.
Re-
Stop.
Renee,
We're talking
stop.
about Biden. Let's
Okay.
go one
So
step at a
wait,
time.
Okay.
Renee,
Let's
should
address
everybody
it.
stop doing
Let's
that?
address it. Let's
Renee,
address
Okay.
it.
should, okay, hold
Okay.
on.
Stop throwing
Panel,
Trump.
hold on,
Every
panel,
time
panel,
you
panel.
lose an argument, you want to throw Trump in.
Panel, should everybody stop doing this when we mention something else?
Yes, we
Is
should.
that something
I'm
we
not
all
mentioning
agree on, that everyone should
We're talking
stop?
about Biden
doing
right now. He's
that?
the president.
Okay, hold on,
Renee.
hold on,
That's the
Renee.
topic.
Renee,
my
I
que-
am,
okay, hold on. My question is, should we all stop doing that? If we say something
Yes.
about Trump, mention Biden, or if we mention Biden,
Forget
talk
Trump.
about
Let's
Trump.
forget Trump. Forget Trump. Trump's not the president.
So
We're
no,
talking
that's
about
not
the
the
guy
question.
who's president
Renee,
right now.
Renee,
Let's
Renee,
talk about what the things that are going
Renee,
around him, not
okay,
Trump.
Renee, not the question I'm asking.
Yes,
Should we all stop doing
Yes.
that?
we should.
When we mention this person, go.
I'm not
what
gonna
about
mention.
them?
I'm not gonna mention Trump no more. I just want to
Okay.
So
mention
should we-
Biden
So
Okay,
should we
let me-
all do that?
because he's the president right now.
You're not
Let's
answering
not
me.
mention Trump no more. And I agree with
Let's
Renee
not
You're
mention
not
Trump no
answering
more.
me.
because Trump lost by 8 million votes and he's a loser.
Yes, right.
No,
So let's talk
not
about the guy who's in
question,
power
panel.
now.
Yeah, let's go.
Not the okay. Question, panel again. Should we stop doing this? Do the what about them theory, which both political parties have done for a long time. Oh well, what about Hunter Biden? Well, wait, what about
No,
Trump's kids?
let's
that's
talk
not
So
my
should
about.
point.
we stop
Let's
doing
talk
that?
about the person in power right now, who is Biden.
Okay,
Forget
You're
Trump.
not
Let's
answering
forget
my
Trump.
question, Renee.
Yes,
Well,
we
he
should
doesn't
stop
get it.
throwing Trump into it. That's your
No,
question.
not Trump. Everybody else. It's not Trump individual. Should we stop going, what about them?
Yes,
When
we
someone
should.
brings up a problem,
Let's talk
should
about
we, hold on,
Biden.
hold on, please. So the question is, when we bring up a problem, should we
Mhm.
address that problem or should we go, what about them?
No, that
That
problem.
is my question.
That problem.
Yes,
I
we
wanna-
should
I
stick
wanna-
to the topic
I
and
want.
not
I want to
bring up.
talk. I
Yes.
want to talk about what's relevant, and what's relevant right now is that we
Okay.
have a president
Not
in the
relevant.
House.
The question is, should we go, what about them?
And
Is the
everybody's
answer
saying
yes or
no.
no?
Everybody's saying no. Sean, everybody's
good.
saying no.
If we're saying no,
Okay.
then I agree with that. Let's stop throwing the other person under the bus. Let's deal with the irrelevant problem. All right,
Okay,
Chris,
now,
what?
Renee,
Yes.
before we show this clip,
Mhm.
the point I'm trying to make to you is you keep going to the internet, showing a picture, coming up with an article. He said this, he said
No,
this.
hold on. That's not what
Aren't
I
you-
did. You said that
What
Trump,
did
that
you do?
Biden
You-
never said defund the police. So I went online And there's an article from New York Post, from a bunch of different websites. In 2020, Biden was supporting that. Now they've changed that. That's all I said. Even his own people have said that he's misspoke.
Which
Okay.
may have been true because
Yes.
everybody in politics changes their stance every 20 minutes.
Exactly.
Chris,
But
do
the
you want
problem
to
I
show that
have
or
is
not, or
when
you want to move
Biden
on?
himself and his supporters say that he never said that. That's the
Well,
problem I have.
that's not,
But
okay, okay.
Renee,
Okay,
do
guys.
all politicians lie?
Chris, hold that, Chris, by the way, hold
Yeah,
that.
but you guys shouldn't lie.
It's not
You guys
necessary.
shouldn't lie though, because
Okay, I am.
I'm not lying.
Said that.
Okay,
He never
ladies and
said that.
gentlemen, boys and
Lying.
girls, we need to slow this show down. We didn't get to our second segment. Our second segment would be the rise in violence and political rhetoric. We need to hit that next week. Next week, the moderator would be Karen. Can you take on moderator roles next week?
Yeah, it's gotta be someone that's neutral, dude. This whole thing with Sean's not working.
Karen, are you still there?
Wait, what?
It
What
wasn't
you mean
working.
by
He's
going?
not
Why-
It
neutral
wasn't
at
working
all.
on your half because he
Hold
kept throwing
on, we're
backs at you.
not.
He goes,
We're
"Hold
still on there,
guys,
guys.
I'm neutral."
We're still on there. Slow down.
What
We know
about
we are.
Trump?
Nominate Anderson to be
Dude,
moderator next week. Thank you.
Anderson, can you be
Oh,
moderator
No,
next week?
hell no. I'll be the first one to say I can't be on a goddamn moderator. Not when Renee's on.
Wait,
Hold
let's see
on,
if
guys,
Renee
I'm
can be
being
moderator
neutral.
or be neutral.
I'm being neutral, but what
Let
about
Renee be the moderator.
Bam, or whatever his name is said that.
Okay,
gonna
we
try
need
to
a
bring up
moderator.
both
Karen,
sides.
please. I will work with you, Karen, on moderating. Can you take out because we need to know who our moderator is next week.
No, you know what? We'll find out. It'll be a surprise moderator, and
Yeah,
it'll be one
yeah,
of us. And
Yeah,
see
to
you
It'll be a
next week.
surprise. Okay, fine.
to be
Surprise
determined,
moderator.
to be determined.
Okay.
How
There
about
you
that?
To be determined, we will have a moderator next week or next
Yeah.
week's. Now, listen, everyone. There's two things I want to talk about next week. Super important. The first thing is we got to talk about the rise in violent rhetoric amongst our politicians, amongst our people, because
Well, every
violence
place.
is at a rise. Second thing we need to talk about is why this show can't keep conservatives on.
Yes,
And
amen.
that's something we really need to talk about. Someone mentioned the persona earlier on me.
Personality, not persona, personality.
Personality. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. As long as I am going to be here to make this panel equal as best as I can. You can attack me personally all you want, but those attacks will not, sway someone that has strong conservative values.
Yeah, but
And
what about
we
Trump?
What about Trump?
What about
What?
That's not swayed, don't worry.
That was good. But
But what
that
about
makes a
Trump?
point. Ladies and gentlemen,
That's Wade.
please email us at mysakeproductions@gmail.com, or we could be wrong at AOL.com.
Hold on, one last
Also-
thing I want to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna be neutral on this. I'm gonna be neutral.
We already know he's not. Go ahead.
Okay.
Remember when Trump said grab her pussy?
Yes. See, yeah, I get it. Okay. So also, we are back on YouTube and we're streaming live. Matter of fact, we're streaming live now. Please
Lock
watch.
him up. Lock him up. No, sorry.
We love the fact that you guys are listening. Guys, email us. That's we could be wrong at AOL.com. Or you could email us at mysakeproductions@gmail.com. I don't care which one you use, email us. Next week's show will be on violent rhetoric, and also be on why can't the show keep conservatives. For those conservatives who listen, please write in and let's explain. Have these emails and these questions ready for next week's show. They will be read on live. And if you watch us live on YouTube, you could write and participate. I would like to say thank you to all my panelists, all the panelists here. Thank you to the moderator, Sean. Sean will be participating next week. We'll know who our moderator is.
We know
Sorry,
what
Renee.
side he's on.
Sorry,
No
Renee.
neutrality there. Hey,
No
real quick.
neutrality there.
Hey, did you guys get a chance to see What Is a Woman?
You know
Oh,
what?
I did.
Let's do a viewing party. Let's make a date in the future, and we'll have a viewing party with people who will watch YouTube and live stream it with us, and we can talk about it there. So
All right.
thank you very much for listening to We Could Be Wrong,
All
but
right.
who
Hi,
cares?
guys.
This is your host, Christopher Harris, and we appreciate you. Great. Renee's leaving, but the rest of us, please stay online.
Well, you're not your host, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This is not your host. I think I'm already off. Oh my God, hey, guys, that's hard. That's
Do you,
hard.
do you
That's
think I
hard.
was that biased?
Yes, yes.
Did I really
have
make
to.
them biased?
Yeah, I think so, Sean. I thought you were. Yeah, you were. I'm sorry. I thought you were.
No, that's
asking
fine,
some
Mike.
loaded-
I trust your
I
opinion,
don't.
brother.
I don't disagree with what you were saying, but I thought you were adding a bit of loaded questions at times.
Okay.
That would be my opinion. Yeah, I
Okay,
thought.
no, that's totally
I
fine.
wish Renee.
agree.
I wish Renee would be listening to that. Wish he wouldn't have dodged out.
I tried to be more biased and not definitely one because I trust me. I think there's many more examples I could come across one-sided. But I
Yeah,
tried
but you know
to
what?
get the political bias on both sides.
How hard is it for you guys to try to catch my bullshit? Or I mean, me.
Oh, it's easy. You're bullshit.
How? No.
bullshit.
No. I said it wrong. Knowing that I don't feel this way, how hard is it to try to conversate with me? Knowing that, is that difficult?
No, it's not hard.
For me, no, it's
It
not
hard.
wasn't hard for me.
I just know
because
you're
I
bullshitting.
feel like you guys don't get me, and I feel that I get away with it. I really feel like
Oh,
I
no.
get away with it.
You're just
No,
bullshitting. We know that.
I thought
Really?
last week you handled the issues pretty well. This week, you just kept it on a real personal level, and
I had to.
Karen, I feel so
I
sorry,
had no
Karen,
facts.
But yeah, exactly.
I had no
There are no
facts.
facts.
And that's
I had
exactly what
to.
Anderson. That's exactly what Anderson said. You are so full of bullshit. That
I
made
had
it
to.
tough because you really didn't present
I
a
had
position
none.
at all this
I
time. Yeah.
couldn't.
And
We
the reason
all
why-
know it's
The reason why I
Because-
attacked Chris is because I knew Chris didn't have a backup plan.
Yeah.
As you can tell, because
Yeah.
he will talk
Yeah.
and try to scramble in his brain real quick the way he was
Yeah.
talking. It's
Well,
like, man, I gotta bring something.
we all know.
Yeah,
it's
but he
biased.
resorted to attacking me though when I spoke up
Yeah,
against
No,
Yes.
I
And you were
attacked
nice.
what you
You were
said.
kind, Karen.
I
You were
attacked
kind.
what you said. I did not attack her personally. I attacked
Yeah,
what she
no, yeah, you
Right.
did, and you were
I-
kind though, Karen. You said, "Okay, everybody has their opinion," which I thought you should have said. You're so full of shit, Chris. That's
No,
bullshit.
yeah.
You can't compare
Exactly.
those two things.
That's where I
like
came in,
that.
Karen.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
I know.
I got it right on.
You know,
Yeah,
Chris,
There's no
fun.
way.
you can tell Sun Tzu my beard is much better than Mike's now.
She'll be
I thought-
listening. I'm very interested.
Hey, 3 cheers to Karen. I thought you were right on today, Karen. Personally,
No,
I really
exactly.
did. I thought
You know
were
what
right on.
though? But the thing is, it
Thank
was
you.
her reaction that really kept me safe, because if she came at me the same way, because Mike went and backed up Karen right away, which fucked me, and then Anderson did his shit, and if Karen would have done the same thing, I would have been ass out of luck. But because she was kind,
Yes.
it allowed me
Yes.
to back away.
Well, that's what I'm
That
saying.
was
Renee's
good.
saying I was biased, man. I made sure that everyone got their point. You know,
But
as a
Renee kind of
moderator.
fucked me too, because I told him,
Yes,
oh, you have to
yes.
keep. I told he fucked me, dude. I was like, come on, man, just keep calm. Just let him say it. Let me go in and let me back you up. And he did it because he wanted to get him so bad. It's like,
Yeah.
please stay focused.
And
Oh,
I
that
just wanna
fucking
make some-
picture, that picture of the clan though, really fucked us.
Oh
I
God.
hated that picture of the clan.
Yeah.
And
Oh
I
man,
was
no
waiting
way is
for
that
you to
true.
pull it.
No way is that true. No way.
Yeah.
can't-
But
That
of
was
course,
the
the Hunter
worst.
Biden,
Mike goes-
laptop is true.
But
not
Mike
that
goes,
picture.
Mike goes, no one knows what's really in those documents, but everybody knows what's really in that laptop. Yep. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like,
dude.
why can't he just
And let-
because he could have easily
That's
said,
got you.
well, Mike, why did the judge allow the special master? And I wanted that in, and I never got it. I never fucking got it because he was too busy. He was out for blood, and I was like,
Yeah.
please, man, we have, because the special master helped us. It helped us because it keeps the hope alive. And yeah, you're right. I didn't have facts, but I had emotional leadway. Why did the judge do this? Then?
I don't
Why
think
this
it
and
helps.
that?
The
It does,
special
though.
master was too late. The special
But for
master was
people
too
who feel
late.
like, but for the people who feel like Mike and Sun Tzu, it does. Now the goal is to break through to them.
Chris, the people like Renee and Sun Tzu are never going to change their mind no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what
Possible.
the master
Renee
says.
Nah,
does.
you're wrong,
Renee
'cause
does.
Renee changed
Good.
his mind. He flip flopped a few times already.
Yeah,
He
but
did-
only for
yeah,
a
he
very
did
short
once.
time period,
Yeah, he
Karen.
did once.
Then he
That's
went
fair.
back to drinking the Kool-Aid.
That's all you need to get the right leaders in power.
Yeah.
That's
A
all you
quick
need.
flip flop.
A flip flopper to get the right
A
leaders in
quick
power.
flip flop.
See, Sean, you're looking at it the wrong way, man.
Wait,
You're seeing the
wait,
cup
okay,
half
but my point is,
empty
where's
instead of
Renee
half
right now?
full.
Where's
He-
Renee right now?
Oh, I'll tell you where he is. It's all about Victor. That's
He's
where
on
he
Fox
is.
News. That's where he's on.
He's
Well,
a
but it's about-
full
it's a-
Trumper
Newsmax.
again.
No,
He's
but
a
it's because
full
Yeah.
diehard Trumper.
because he's a victim. He really, I
Yeah.
think that's the big part
Yeah.
of what he's coming from. If
Yeah.
you do, I mean, he's been picked on,
Yeah.
and I know he's a scumbag, but I don't care. I'm a Rocky fan, and I'm going with Rocky.
Yeah.
I think that's
I'm
where
not
he
a
is.
Rocky fan.
I think
Because-
that's where he is.
Because when you're a Trump supporter, you're always a Trump supporter. You may change for 30
No,
seconds.
Sean.
So how much can you count on them for,
But Sean,
Chris?
Sean, listen, Sean.
Yeah.
You are 95% right on how you see it, but sometimes you're letting your bias on this.
Oh, I can say I'm
influence you, man.
wrong at times. I agree.
You know,
But
but I'm just saying, it's that guy is where the majority of America is. That's why I'm
No,
fucking
no,
this
not
guy.
a majority of
Do
America.
you
but
think
not
I don't
Trump
feel
supporters.
sick playing
Yeah.
you think me being this way makes me feel good when I feel dirty, okay? But I'm
I know
telling
you should go shower.
This is a sacrifice and trying to reach
Shower,
the
dude,
people.
You're nasty.
How hard is it? How hard is it? And then, and then I have Mike and Anderson that are just not fucking letting me breathe.
Not
They're not.
today.
They're
Not
not.
this time.
But the cool
but
thing
Rick-
is that, but the
Trust
cool
me,
thing
next
is that
week I won't
Karen,
let you breathe either because I'm not a moderator.
Karen has the heart of a lot of female voters. I think a lot of female voters have the same type of heart that Karen does. I don't know if that's a sexist thing to say. I really
No,
don't. I'm
no,
being
why would that
real
be
honest.
Why would
You
that be
know?
sexist? That's not sexist.
Like
But,
saying a lot of
but
white
It's
voters
just a
are
Karen
mine. That's
thing.
not-
Just kidding.
yeah.
it's just a Karen thing. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. But
A
the
lot of
thing
old
is,
voters think like Mike. Oh my God, how
but
racist.
no. But the thing is, I go and how I feel I'm able to keep that persona up is
Yeah.
if I could convince Karen just to move a little bit, boom, I'll win. So we
No, we'll all
have
move a little bit, Chris. I hope we'll all move a little bit. I said this the first time I come on the
you
show.
did. You
if you're
moved a lot.
non-movable, you shouldn't be here.
You moved a lot from when you first started on the show to now.
Yeah.
You moved a ton.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
From
If you're
a guy who
non-movable,
wanted
you
to
shouldn't
keep-
be here.
Confederate statues to a guy that said, you know what, it was Anderson that pointed that out and made me change my mind.
Right.
That is major. That's major.
Well, we all should be
Anderson, though,
movable.
I'm gonna find a way to get Anderson.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I don't think you'll
Trust
ever
me.
get Anderson.
Oh,
He's too
I'll get
city
him.
and he has
Well,
a
no,
comeback
no,
for everything.
no. He's human. He's human.
There were no zingers
see, look
today,
at-
though. I was disappointed.
Look what it says there. A man. He's just a man. Subliminal right there. A
No,
man.
whatever.
Just a man.
Yeah.
Just a
But there
man.
was no zingers.
get
I
him.
was disappointed, Anderson. No zingers
was a
at all.
He
serious
didn't
show,
need to. He went for a fucking.
Oh yeah, plenty of
full-
serious shows
he
we
went-
haven't zingered in.
He went for a full freight attack.
Yeah.
Yes, you're bullshit. Rah, 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 rah. He went for full. He didn't need to sing. He was like, he was just full steam ahead. All right, guys, good show. I'll have it up by tomorrow. Thank you very much. We do need to find a moderator. Do I bring in someone outside? What do I do?
I might do it. I can do it. I might do it. Let me just think of look, but the violence topic was my topic though. That's the part that I
Oh yeah, exactly. So it can't
or at
be
least
you.
one of the things I felt strong about, I should
No,
say.
exactly. Because I'll be on the
Not my-
side
not-
again too, where I can actually voice.
Not my topic necessarily, but I felt really strongly about that. Well, let me
Mike,
think about that.
we'll be able to back each other up, Mike.
Well, as a moderator, I might be able to, get to that, so let me think about it, Chris. So let me think
Okay.
about that.
Well, it's
So-
like last show. I was able to bring up points that pointed out things.
Last show, I thought you laid framework. I think this
Right.
time, a couple of times, there was a little bit more, it was more pointed than broader, which I thought.
Yeah, I
last time
agree. I agree. It was hard on this
Sean.
show. Last show was easy.
Sean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna attack you on being boring if you get too verbose.
What?
Prepare for that.
Tomorrow, I mean, next week, you mean?
Next week, I'm going to attack you on being boring if you get 2 verbose.
Oh, you can attack me all you want. I'll have
No.
points.
I'm telling you. I'm
No,
telling
I
you so you
agree.
can prepare. I'm
No,
telling you so you
trust
can
me, dude.
prepare.
I'll have
Okay,
points. Attack
okay,
me left and
okay,
right. I don't
okay.
care.
I think you understand. I don't know. Okay.
I have
Yeah,
All right,
seven
guys.
points for next week. Political violence.
I-
Come
I
on
didn't
with
get-
it.
I didn't get to mention that there were 33 separate hearings on Hillary Clinton while she was in office. 33
Oh, there are
times,
tons.
33 hearings.
Well,
She got
there
prosecuted.
was a total of 88 hearings, 8 to 8 hearings, a total.
No, she
Even
got-
passed.
She
They
got
wanted
investigated.
her.
This is the point.
Yeah.
That's why I tried
Yeah.
to
Oh,
mention
I
the
never
lock
got that
her up,
many.
lock
Wow.
him up
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Because
No,
it's not
they
the
wanted her.
same.
How
Yeah.
awesome would it be if Hillary Clinton was the special master?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, that's not.
No.
That's silly, Chris. That's silly. She- obviously,
It's a joke.
Yeah, let's make
Mike.
James.
That's a
Let's
fantasy.
make James
Yeah, I know.
Comey
It's
the
not even-
special master. James Comey.
All right. Have